Go.
Why say beta?
What?
Local recordings is a beta.
What's shaking, everybody? Welcome to the Nerdy Couch Show. We're back. We're live.
Good day, friends. We are here talking about The Walking Dead.
What?
Oh, same thing.
It's not. It is not the same. This is how we're starting the live?
Hey.
All right.
Roll that
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, like we were saying,
Hit the mic.
we are talking about The Last of Us, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
which
what you were
is
saying.
Plenty different than The Walking Dead. I think that we'll all find, and we all will all agree on that. Welcome to our first live in a while, and actually, producer's first live
Ever.
ever.
Ever. Never been live before.
Yeah. So this will be a trial. You know, if she can manage to not look
Trial?
at the whiteboard
This is more of a trial for you guys.
to see if we
I
can
might
handle
be
you.
doing The Last of Us alone after this.
Wow.
We'll see how much we can trigger you. So yeah, welcome. We'll get right into it, I think.
I think we will. We
I
have
think-
a lot to cover, so it's good.
I think that, like, you know how we do a banana rating every time?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be hard for the three of us to conceal our excitement for this, and a banana rating might not be as surprising,
Right.
let's say,
There's
because
not enough bananas in the world.
because
You're rating.
You can't already be giving your banana rating. That
I
goes
didn't give a
against
banana
the
rating.
The show
shoe?
rules.
yeah, but
The shoe.
I
So
don't
we're gonna be
follow
saying-
any of the show rules.
so we're gonna just argue this whole episode, by the way.
Yeah.
And if you like that, let us know.
Because it happens all the time.
I'm just saying it's going to be hard for us to conceal. Everybody's going to know quite quickly how much we enjoyed this, because I think the excitement's going to come out.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to come out.
You know?
Maybe.
So many things are going to come out of the show.
What else is going to come out, Grim?
My enjoyment of the show and possibly other things.
Other things like what?
Yeah. Do we have an after show? Like, is that
Maybe you will be on the show with me next
All right.
time.
so?
Oh.
What do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about the casting of this show?
Yeah, actually, I'd love to talk about the casting because
We're going to possibly get a little triggered here.
I'm already triggered just thinking about it.
Oh, God.
The casting in this show, I think, was phenomenal, personally.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, I can
Right.
agree.
But for some reason, it was getting a lot of flack on
Certain
from
characters,
the trolls, especially in regards to Ellie.
which was played by.
That was Bella Ramsey.
She did a great job.
She did an incredible job. And
Okay.
anytime you're making a show based on a video game or something like that, or based on a comic book, you always get these people that come out and have these big opinions on what the character should or should not look like. And I think when you're doing a transition like this, it should be more about how the character is played rather than their appearance.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe she didn't look exactly like Ellie, the animated character, looked in a video game. But she looked pretty similar.
Enough like that
And
character.
her character, I gotta say, of everyone acting in that show, she played her part the best.
Oh.
She was Ellie.
She did a really solid job. The writing
Absolutely.
was there. Everything was there for her to make the character great, and she did that.
Some of the comments towards her is that she wasn't pretty enough to play this character. Get a life.
Right?
Get a life. First off, you're asking for a child to be more attractive, so maybe think through your life.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And how dare you take a person who did a fantastic job at something and try to degrade what they did? Screw you guys. Anybody who didn't like that character, straight up screw you.
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
Well, didn't like the character based on looks.
Right.
based on her acting skills, based on anything. Like,
Well, I mean, if they didn't like something about her acting, then they didn't like that and whatever. But if it's just based on the fact that, she doesn't look exactly like the character, and especially if it's about her not being pretty enough to play the character, it's ludicrous to even
It's
be.
it's literally
it's ridiculous.
like there's this burning that makes me want to just punch somebody that
You look angry.
feels that way.
You look
I am
upset.
angry about
But
it.
like
You
the
should be.
looking like the characters though, like Tess didn't look like Tess really.
Yeah, but nobody's complaining
Joel
about it,
Right.
is not like it's kind of similar, but not.
right?
Yeah.
Now
All in all,
Marlene is pretty spot on.
let's say
But
that
I mean-
Marlene's got a good reason for
Yeah.
that.
I mean, Marlene is the voice actor, which the character in the game was based off of, because they
Right.
do that often. So she's obviously gonna look like herself.
So did they base her like physical character off of the actress playing the voice then for the game?
It's the
maybe?
Like did they base
Yeah.
the physical characteristics of
Well,
her
and I
off
mean,
the actress?
You see that a lot, even if you're watching like those Pixar movies or whatever. A lot of the time, even if it's what was the fish movie with like Will Smith and
No, it was the fish
Um,
movie
was it?
with Will Smith.
Yeah, that one.
The
Um,
car wash one?
Huh?
Yeah.
The
Car
car wash
wash?
one, the one with the car wash. Those
Working
even
at
those
the
fish had like
car
facial
wash.
characteristics of the
Yeah.
actors
Yeah.
who were playing them. So
Yeah.
they do that a lot in these
Um,
kinds of things. So
So, like, I think there was another game that came out around the same time as this game, and it had the likeness of William Dafoe.
Okay.
And Elliot Page before she had transitioned.
okay,
Okay. And a lot of people, the character in that game looked a lot like the character in this game.
Okay.
So a lot of people were upset that that actor didn't play this. Well, as far as I'm aware, he didn't have any interest in doing it. First off, and like it didn't make sense. So get over it, pretty much.
that's fair.
Right? You get over it. I'll get over it. We can all move on.
Yeah, let's
All right.
let's move on to the greatness that is
Again,
the show.
as far as I'm concerned, the casting was near perfect for me.
I would agree.
It was good for me.
I have
I
no
liked it.
quarrels about it.
I thought
No.
they picked great actors
Yeah, stellar
to match
actors.
these roles.
Everybody played their part almost perfectly. I know that I think they
Happy Saturday, Brittany.
I think they did.
Brittany,
Oh, welcome. Thanks
welcome.
for coming. I
You
think they
missed
did
us getting real angry about
Oh,
something.
for the last 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I think they did water down Joel a bit for the show.
They did.
Because I feel like Joel was a lot more
Aggressive.
violent. We do get to see some
Can
of
we
that, but
just say how?
Hey, Derek.
thanks for joining us.
Thank
buddy.
you, Derek. Derek's passionate about this show in some way,
Well,
so hopefully he's got some good comments
Good.
for us. I think that them watering down Joel for the majority of that episode
Mhm.
only heightens when he goes off
That's fair.
at the end.
That's fair.
It's more emotional
We got
because of
some
that
audio popping.
audio popping. That's
Popping?
not good.
No, I don't want any audio popping.
What one's popping?
So
If you let us know who's popping, we'll
Derek-
try and
Popping.
adjust the situation.
when
as
does
we
it
go
pop?
here.
When who's talking?
Um,
Probably me because
Yeah, he's got the.
I have a
recorder
handheld mic. Which thank you for the handheld mic to
Yes.
Cassie and
Nope.
what's or Candace.
Candace and Rodney.
Candace and Rodney.
We should have
All
wrote that on
three.
the board.
All
I
three
know
are popping?
Candace very well, but I can never remember Rodney's name.
Just don't touch it. Just sit back there,
Don't touch
producer.
anything. We'll knock you out.
Yeah,
All three.
it could be just him. If anybody else hears any popping, let us know. But anyway,
Yeah.
We know how to fix it.
Sometimes
Not that
I
we know how
pop
to
it,
fix
pop it and lock it.
yeah,
So
Oh, we just didn't lock it.
I just didn't lock it.
Oh, okay. that could be it.
Yeah, if anybody else has any issues with the audio, let us know because
Yeah.
we want this to be the best we can for you guys.
Of course we do.
And Derek's hearing
Oh,
isn't the
see, so
greatest.
Brittany's not getting any popping.
Yeah, no,
So-
no popping, just the locking.
Yeah.
Where we've got audio testing going on here, and that's sounds
That's live,
great.
guys. Live audio testing.
Live audio tests, which we're capable of doing now.
Yeah, we got some new equipment. So that's exciting.
We're
But
loving
anyway,
the new equipment, and again, thank you for the mic. really saved us with this one until we can get another mic.
Derek,
we did want to have
blow on the holes at the bottom of your phone.
Yeah, clean it out a little.
There might be
All
some
right.
mung in there.
Mung.
Yeah,
Mung.
it's probably his ears.
Maybe your ears.
Clean the mud out of them ears.
Just the locking and dropping.
This is what happens during live shows.
Yeah.
You don't see all the work that goes in behind the scenes
sliding
that the
off
producer puts in of cutting all of our nonsense together.
There's a lot of nonsense.
But this stuff all gets clipped out.
Phone.
Back
While we're
to the-
while we're on a break, everybody just feel free to scan this QR code here and vote for Mr. Saga on the Indigenous Music Countdown. Thanks, guys.
Wow, we need a scanner thing for our channel.
They can just pause and take pictures.
We do have one, actually.
Oh, do we?
I have a QR code for Nerdycouch on YouTube.
Oh,
Are you playing with your mic again?
don't touch that.
I'm not
please.
touching it. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, sweet Jesus. All right.
We got a show we're supposed to be talking
You
about.
told me to be on the show. I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah, I told you. It was stop.
Making it better.
No,
Is
you're
it
not.
better?
Just
I predict 75% nonsense, 25% show.
That's. I think that
That's
if you're
fair.
not used to that by now,
Kudos to the
I-
editor. Right?
pretty. You know what? We couldn't. The things we couldn't do without her, like have a good show.
and
You
we
know?
do give her a lot of flack a lot of the time. She's the
Think
magic.
about what would happen if we lost her.
We'd
You'd
have
have
to
no
do it
studio.
ourselves, and that would suck.
Yeah.
Oh, and also this would all go away.
Yeah.
That's why they
we
keep
would be
me.
a street show, which could be
Yeah, just
interesting.
Could be.
in the corner somewhere. Let's reel it in.
All right.
I think we should just really briefly
You're ridiculous.
go over just the opening of the show.
Okay.
So not the scientist scene, but just the way that the show opens every episode. I love the fact that they had the game theme in there.
Oh yeah.
Same composer works on this show. I can't remember what the individual's name is, but I couldn't pronounce it.
So you couldn't write it
So
down.
I was like, I'm not gonna write it down because
On top of that, they already have the rights to that music
Yeah.
because the show is produced by the game designers,
right,
right?
and that's what this.
Or the game, not per se the game designers, but the producer. Of the
Producer.
game, right?
And that sets this show apart from other adaptation shows, is that
It was
they
okay,
have
I
all of
guess.
those rights. I don't know what he's saying.
What do you mean it's okay, I guess?
We're okay, I guess.
Oh, we're okay?
I don't know.
I mean, the show was fantastic, but we're okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with being
Yeah.
okay actually at
Yeah.
this point in time.
There's a lot of okayness going around
Um,
right now.
The other thing about that opening of the episodes I really liked was the fungal spread that you
Yeah.
could watch, and it turned into the world maps.
Yeah, and the little
City
intro
is
thing that
very
they have.
reminiscent of like Game of Thrones
Yeah.
Yeah.
style of
I had the
of
same
opening,
feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
That
Mhm.
same dramatic
Mm-hmm.
feel of
Yeah.
the opening. So
So something that I can handle.
Show. Oh, okay.
What I did find with similar openings is that after like the 15th time of watching it, you were like, "Give me my show,"
yeah,
you know.
that's fair.
But for the
Except
first
except
episode, very cool.
the show with John Cena.
Yeah,
I watched
same for
that.
me.
I
was
watched
done
that
with it.
opening.
After the first time. I was
every-
done with it.
Peacemaker.
No, I have
The
no
dance-
idea what that
it's
is.
a dance scene. I watched
Yeah.
it every time.
I have no time for shows. I just edit.
I ain't got no time for your business. All right.
Speaking of editing, I think we're going to be putting together a Facebook group pretty soon, so watch out for that.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be just as stupid as everything else.
Probably.
Um,
But you might get some behind the scenes lives
so
every now and then.
Some pre-game dump.
Some
yeah,
shenanigans.
it may be called the pregame.
It
dump.
might be a pregame dump because it's just a big pile of shit.
Having the music be exactly the same, pretty much, just drove you to want to watch it
Oh yeah. Yeah, it sets the tone, right?
perfectly.
And especially if
Obviously.
you're a big fan of the game, which I am. I know producer is,
Mhm.
and Nerdy Couch isn't. But
Oh, I like the game. I just haven't finished it yet.
He's enjoying the
you hate
walkthrough
the
he's
game, I
watching.
got it.
So
um,
I'm enjoying the walkthrough that neither of you created because you didn't finish yours.
I'm working on it
I'm playing number 2
on the Lydell RPG channel right here on YouTube.
Look,
on the
not,
Grimm Games
not a sponsored. We
YouTube
do
channel.
not condone you watching the Lydell
The Betrayal
show.
channels.
It's a betrayal channel, and we do not condone it. All right, go watch it
So yeah,
if you like gaming.
just like the game, the show starts out with that prologue.
hmm
Before that, can we at least talk about the scientists a little? Just
Yeah,
a
we can
smidge,
talk about the science.
just a smidge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they do explain the plot of the pandemic.
Yep.
Quite a bit better than the game does.
We need to talk about that. Although it's not much bigger when I throw it up on the itty bitty little screen. we
It's
have.
literally the second best game ever made. Feel free to throw out
What
your
is the
first best. That'd be great.
first?
Yeah, what's the first
What
best
is
game
the first
ever made?
best? I
I'm
can't
just
think
gonna
of a
say
game that's
Uncharted,
better.
I think is probably where.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So the scientist scene really just again, I'm gonna say sets the tone a lot. Apparently,
Yeah.
the music sets the tone.
Mhm.
Scientist scene definitely sets the tone for the show.
I think especially for people who haven't played the game,
Yeah.
that small scene is going to be important.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Or else they're gonna have no idea what's happening.
No, I mean they can. Anybody can get into the show. I'm sure. Just even if they're fans of like the zombie genre,
Yeah.
it's a
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
easy jump to get to this. But
Yeah.
getting to explain all of the science
And-
behind it is pretty.
Yeah.
And just like in the game, the disease or pandemic is based on something that's real.
Right.
That only happens to insects.
Yeah.
And in real life can't happen to. Can it? Though.
I don't know. He explained
Technically,
very
it
convincingly,
can.
right?
If you look up actual cordyceps, technically, yes, it can.
In
but
theory.
it is true. It would need a different environment that it would need to adapt for.
And you know what? Humans are completely not capable of changing the atmosphere and the environment.
No, we don't have global warming or anything.
No.
Where,
So it
you
could
know,
never happen. So
the
be sure,
cordyceps
guys,
virus
don't
needs to
worry
change.
about it.
Yeah, it's
all right?
fine.
It's good.
It's fine.
Good. It's just a
It's just important.
brain-eating parasite.
It's just important that everybody understand why this is happening.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. So not
And,
a lot to talk about there.
Well, just that science scene really hits home
Does
for
it?
things like, it takes place back in the 60s, and they kind of bring up, things like global warming without saying global warming, and they bring up things like pandemic, which obviously hits home for all of us.
Obviously, a pandemic atmosphere is relatable.
Mhm.
Right. Don't say the actual word of what we're going through because the YouTube's doesn't like it.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we will get taken down if you say
That
that,
thing
word.
that's
That
been
word?
going on,
Yeah, don't
that
say
word,
that word.
okay.
doesn't like it.
But
Yeah.
we can say pandemic?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, there's a game called
Yeah.
Pandemic. You can't talk about the game Pandemic.
That's fair.
I think I got one of them brain-eating parasites.
You know
You can't
what?
remember your first best game?
You know
Is that what you're
what's-
saying?
It's not the best game then.
No. And
Can't be.
also,
Also,
to
I
be fair,
believe him.
To be fair.
Derek is a brain-eating parasite. So
Oh.
thanks for joining us.
We
buddy.
do love him though. Don't leave just because of that, please.
And I'm out.
He's like, click. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about.
No.
That it just sets the tone. It sets. You did it to me. You infected me.
Tetris.
He's now controlling me.
Tetris.
Okay.
Okay.
If we're being
Okay.
fair, I watched
Okay.
I watched a video that
Uh-huh.
said the top most played games ever,
Yes.
Yeah.
and Tetris was like number 2.
Really?
Oh, really?
Minecraft, then Tetris.
I can see Minecraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Minecraft was like a global
Okay.
phenomenon.
But yeah,
really.
Years was like massive when it first came out.
Well,
So
I
I'm
still
gonna
play
give him-
Tetris once in a
I
while.
am
Yeah.
going to give him solid points for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, Tetris. I can give you that
So
one.
the man knows what he's talking about.
Mhm.
I've never met a person that knows more useless information in my life. So I'm
Okay.
gonna trust him.
True.
All right.
True. And here comes Mac.
Oh, we can
So-
have Mac in here. you wanted to go into the
prologue.
prologue, and I
It's
know
what I-
that
Yeah, I'm gonna call it the prologue
because it's written on the whiteboard.
yeah,
On the whiteboard.
that's right.
Okay.
Don't look
over
at the
there, bud.
whiteboard. You
I'm not gonna look because
distracts the F out of
The
you.
producer gets into a whiteboard trance.
Yeah,
and can't
I
come
can't.
back to
I
the
can't
show,
do a
so-
whiteboard.
If you catch her
Hi.
looking at the microphone or the whiteboard,
Call it out.
play a little game over it.
It's shots.
Because sometimes, for some reason, she thinks the microphone is a camera or something.
It's not a camera.
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
If it was positioned up here where Grimm
This
put
is-
it earlier.
This is our Max.
Damn it, I hit it.
Our max.
Yeah, he likes to show people his buttocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it going, buddy?
um.
Yeah, wipe your tail right on the microphone.
So I wanted to bring up as we got into the prologue, a TikTok that our producer sent me.
Okay.
Because I literally had the experience in my home, and the TikTok was around an individual who's watching this show.
I posted that.
Did you post that?
I was
Wasn't
gonna
you?
say, I'm like,
Oh.
I don't remember this, but I'm
Okay.
totally
I would
gonna
like
take credit for
where
it.
credit is due.
Okay.
No, I get the credit.
Keep
Are you
going.
guys done?
Have all the
Keep
credit
going.
for everything that goes wrong.
So
You're the producer and manager.
Children.
in the TikTok, there's a person who's watching the show who's never played the game, so it's a fresh viewer. And the
Oh
other
yeah,
person-
spoilers by the way. If you haven't watched or watched the game
Oh.
or played the
Yeah, I guess I
So-
should. Yeah. So, spoiler alert: we are talking about the Last of Us game and the Last of Us show.
Right.
I literally
You have
just
not
said, watch the
seen
game and play the
either.
show, but-
You might want to, or at least watch the show first.
Yeah.
And then come back and watch us.
Yeah, there's some spoilers.
So
Oh,
anybody
yeah.
who's played the game, like myself,
Mhm.
knows
The plot.
the plot. So in that prologue where you're watching Sarah, who's Joel's
Who's
daughter.
Sarah?
Joel's daughter.
Oh,
And they're
I knew it
trying
would trigger
to
you.
escape this whole thing, and it's an intense thing. So I'm watching it with Teresa, my wife, who has never played the game,
Okay.
and you can see her like distressed about them trying to get out, and I'm sitting there like sad already.
Yep.
Because I know there's no hope for Sarah.
Yep.
Like I know,
Why?
Mm-hmm.
and because she's gonna die.
You
So they're
calloused
racing through,
bastard, you.
and Teresa's got that like look on her face, like she hopes everything's gonna be okay.
It's not going to be okay,
in the
Teresa.
TikTok, and I'm distraught because I'm just waiting for her death.
Yep. For that freaking scene.
And it got to the death scene, and I heard that gasp of "oh no" from Teresa that was sitting there.
Mhm.
That right, like,
Yep.
and I've been sad the whole time.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know it's coming.
I-
Can I say that this scene was so well done that I've played the starting of this game probably 20 times because I always restart a game over and over.
Yeah.
Because I forget where I am.
Right.
And after seeing it so many times, it still hit me hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was still super emotional.
Yes, Derek. Sarah dies.
Yeah. Sorry.
If you're
buddy, we did
triggered
put
by.
we did put up the spoiler alert.
Oh,
so
wait.
He's
it's your
Can we
played
fault.
the
say
game.
dies?
He nearly beat the game.
Huh?
We
Oh,
can't say dies.
sorry. If
So Sarah
she
unlives
unalives
near the beginning. If that's going to trigger you, I suggest maybe you get someone to like play through until she's dead. And then
no,
Continue
you don't
on.
do that because you need that moment.
it is quite the moment. It is like
the
a really
solid
powerful
reason
moment.
that Joel is the way he is.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, it's the reason he's so callous and so
This is going to come back to the acting
Fuck
for this
everything.
because every one of those characters played their part to the T.
Mhm.
The build up to that,
Oh,
Yeah,
fan friggin' tastic. It felt like I was in the game.
yeah.
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 yeah. There was definitely points in the show that felt like you were playing the game, even like the truck scene.
The
they're
view,
cruising
the
through.
camera views
Yeah.
did it perfectly.
It was amazing. Like
Even in the game, like the truck scene where they're trying to get away made you feel like you were in the game, like you were actually there, you were Sarah.
But they
But they
recreated that.
recreated that in the show the exact same way.
You owe me a Coke, by the way.
it was stunning.
Why?
You said the same thing I did. It's a game.
Yeah, but I come first, so you owe me a Coke.
No, whoever says that the other person owes
No,
you-
that's not how this
that's
goes
the-
in my house.
You can't change the rules of an age-old game.
Anyway, Yeah, right down to
Oh.
the burning house. Super cool. I'm really glad they added that to the show.
Getting my Coke.
The actress that played Sarah, Storm Reed, amazing job.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that we got so much more character development around Sarah. And I think
Made it hit harder.
I think, yeah,
Mhm.
it definitely at that death scene made it hit harder because you never know what they're going to change in these things.
Yeah.
And then you kind of wonder if maybe there's this little off chance that
There's no
somehow
off
Sarah's
chance.
what if she lived and she just got separated from Joel and it
No.
made him bitter and upset.
They need that moment so bad.
I know.
That
I know, but I just wanted to have a little hope.
I don't think that would have went over really well with fans.
Oh no, it wouldn't have. No, it wouldn't.
Did
No.
I tear up? Is the question?
Did you?
Derek did.
It actually.
I'm with you, bro.
It's
Yeah.
actually the only video game that's ever made me cry. That's fair.
Yeah.
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 It hits hard.
It does. I mean, I didn't cry, but I'm cold-hearted. But I was
Sure.
close.
I'm getting
I
a
was
little
close.
emotional right now.
Are you?
All
I
right.
can see it.
Wow.
I can see it in your eyes. Wow.
Drink. Sorry if this mic kind of bats around because I'm not holding it so cleanly.
So something that was really cool that I thought with this opening scene with Sarah and Joel is a lot of the lines that they pulled straight from the
Mhm.
game.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see because, like, I remember me and my wife were watching it, and I don't know how annoyed she got with me, but I was like, "That's from the game. That's from the game."
That's from the game. I was watching it in the bedroom while laying down, and at the beginning, Monica was kind of watching it, and I would be pausing it and be like, "So," right? Then I realized she was asleep.
Yep.
You're
She
just
didn't care.
explaining everything.
For the first little part, she was kind of like, okay, right?
Yep.
And then I looked over and I'm like, okay, I lost her.
Yep.
So, fun. Yeah, it would be insane to go over all the dialogue that was nearly spot on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Selling
like-
her
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
the death scene with the soldier
Yep.
were almost word for word.
Yeah.
It was.
There's a few parts in the truck that were not exact, but like
But they made
very
sense to the
close.
show, though.
Yeah.
Rather than
Yeah.
the game.
Yep.
Right? Obviously, they changed up a little bit of the starting,
Mhm.
where Tommy is like, I don't think he is in jail.
no, not in the game. He's not.
No.
No, it comes in. It's already like 10 or 11 at night, and Joel shows up at home. Sarah's on the couch, and he says, "Scoot."
Yeah.
Which I hope eventually they bring that in with Joel and Ellie later on in the series, where he tells her to scoot.
Yeah.
That would be really cool
Just
because it kind of brings back Joel back to his humanity, back to his
And that's
care
definitely
for another child.
like
And
it's got to be a portion of this show, and if we can skip back a little to the trailer, and I'm sure we'll touch on the trailer again, but I think at one point, either in the trailer or a piece of something that I was watching, Joel in one of the scenes is like, talking about, "I'm not her father,"
Mhm.
and then the person that he's talking to says, "Well, you're somebody's father." Or you were somebody's father, so
yeah,
that road back to his humanity, I guess,
Mhm.
is definitely going to be a huge part of this show.
Yeah.
so we have to talk about the infection and
There's an
the.
infection?
Is it not an infection?
yeah. It's the cordyceps brain
Can
infection.
we all
Is
just
what it's actually
pretend that
called.
we're
Yeah.
not idiots
Yeah.
for a moment?
There's an infection?
And like, 'cause you had me there for a second. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
I know you looked directly at me, and I was like, "Yes."
I was like, "Is it not an infection?" Like, you legit had me there for a second, and then I realized in my head, we're stupid people.
That was good.
The signs of the infection early on. Okay, now when Ellie's in school, well, not Ellie, when
Sarah.
Sarah's in school. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
It's fine.
That's clear. to
We all know
everyone.
that.
All right. We even have names on the board.
Yeah.
and I screwed it up.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that's kind of in my character. It's written into my character.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
It's in your
Um,
DNA.
When Sarah's in school and she gets that little flash of the bracelet there. Now, my understanding, the boy's twitching of the fingers could have been a sign of early infection, but not everyone here agrees with me.
No,
I don't think so.
I didn't feel like those. So you have totally different. I think. Go ahead. What do you think it was?
I think it was just one of those little things that they put in there
To draw attention.
Well, to make you really think, like, there's about to be an outbreak and
Right.
people are going to die.
Mhm.
And this kid has a medical alert bracelet. Is he going to make it? Like, I really found like this show, at least the intro into the show up until we get to 20 years later, really messed with your emotions.
Yeah.
Really made you think
But
about,
here's the thing.
like, people are going to die. Like, this kid's got a medical
Nobody
alert bracelet. Is
cares
he going to make
about
it through without
Jimmy.
medication?
No.
Sitting next to Sarah. Okay.
I have the lamest thought between. So you're like, oh, he's flashing this medical alert bracelet, and it's like drawing attention to the fact that
I'm
there's
over
gonna be
here
this
thinking
medical
it's
outbreak.
a
You're like,
sign.
it's a sign
He's
he's
twitching.
already infected, and I'm like, I thought he was just kind of a jerk, or it was like some sort of he was like flashing at her with Morse
Like,
code
legitimately
style.
being a
Just being, he's
douche.
like, "Ugh, I'm a
Right.
jerk."
I think
But-
yours is
Okay.
less likely.
Okay.
I don't even know what to think anymore. I
I
feel like
think-
I shouldn't even have brought mine up.
Honestly,
No, I like it. I
you
like
should
that you
just
brought
not
that
talk through the rest of the show.
Like, ugh,
You know,
kid's jerk.
your credibility is gone.
Yeah.
All right. I think that he was twitching a little bit. I think that these shows like to give you early signs of what's going on.
He wasn't twitching though. He was.
Alright.
He had his hand and he was just playing with the paper on his book. He was just playing with it. He was
we can
bored.
disagree.
He's just bored in math class.
We can just. You don't have
playing.
to just work it out till you're
Because
right.
he's playing.
Okay. All right. We can disagree.
On to the next topic.
All right. And then the old lady.
The old lady
Oh,
was classic
terror.
horror scene stuff
Yeah.
where you're getting like this close up of one of your main characters in the prologue,
And it's blurry behind.
and it's blurry behind, and then you see the
twitching. Yeah.
and you're
Are you
immediately
sure they didn't just ask you to cast you? Like,
I'm an extra. If you no, I'm not.
because gosh darn it.
If I was an extra, I wouldn't even tell you guys.
Kudos
just
to the
wait.
really old lady actress there.
Yeah,
Like the way she moved, I'm like,
Oh.
is she like in real life actually okay?
Yeah.
Like she was old.
Yes.
great
Oh,
scenes.
yeah, let's just-
And the-
She was so good though.
and
she was
was
old.
Well, she was. I'm like, she's
God
limber
dang,
old
she was
lady.
old.
Yeah. She's been doing her
How
yoga.
old was she?
Hmm.
So we were talking earlier, as we do, right?
Yeah.
I also thought that maybe she had been infected prior to that as well,
Mm.
due to the fact that the old man was trying to feed her. She had lost her appetite and stuff like that. I think she had early signs of infection there, which again,
I think you just love to
People
read
might
into
well, that's what I do.
extra.
Though.
Like you're like, oh, everybody's
I like
infected.
doing that. Okay,
Okay.
I like to look at things in possibly a different light than you boneheads would.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
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 Wish Rob Lee was here. He does it really well.
He does
Yeah.
do it really well, yeah.
All right. Shout
We
out
need
to
a-
Rob Lee.
We need a
Oh,
soundbite
Rob.
of that for our soundboard.
Wow.
We'll have to call up Rob.
Wow.
Give him to do a wow over
Yeah.
the phone or something.
I think that might be a sign. You know,
Or she's just really old and nearing the end of her
And
life
fussy.
because weren't those her like children or whatever that were caretaking for her, and they looked like they were in their
They
60s?
were old too.
like
Yeah, but they made it sound like she was more active. She's having. They made it sound like she's having trouble eating. Like that's not a normal thing for the old gal.
I don't know.
I don't
me.
know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Regardless,
Great scene.
not a huge point, but I think it's nice to think about.
Okay.
It's not actually nice to think about old
No,
people.
it's
dying.
Not really. But if that's what
Well, she didn't die.
gets you going.
Who didn't die?
She just became a host for a brain-eating fungus.
Yeah, she's not dead yet.
Still living probably a better life.
She's
now.
runner right now, so
Yeah. Well, no, she's
Yeah.
not.
No,
actually,
she's not.
never mind. She
Well-
did die.
Yeah.
Fine. 'Cause,
Let's rewind a little.
they're
Joel-
not dead as a runner.
Joel
but she
crushed
did
her
get-
head.
Okay,
with a
well at that
giant
point,
wrench.
yes, then she
Yeah.
was dead.
Okay, so Sarah walks in on, and
You know who else assumed that she was infected? Is Derek. When they mentioned she was at the hospital or doctor's office earlier that day.
yeah, so there is
Yeah.
merit to what I am saying.
I also, at that point, assumed she was infected, but you're talking about previously, like you think she was previously infected to her doctor visit.
What's the timeline
You're like,
here? Like, when did she visit the doctor? I thought she had visited the doctor.
she had been going for appointments.
Yeah, so at
Yeah.
some point during that, she was infected.
Well, obviously,
Then they have the scene where she's
you don't even need to think about that. Obviously,
You
she
know
was
what
infected.
confuses me about that? So in the show, in order to get infected, you have to be bitten or scratched.
Right?
How did they not notice someone bit Grandma?
they could have assumed it was a bed sore.
Or maybe that's the evolution of the virus. Like at this point, we're at bitten or scratched. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And maybe the initial onset of the virus before it was a bite or a scratch, we could go back to game accurate, and maybe it was initially an airborne kind of thing.
Yeah, but initially an airborne thing stays an airborne.
You just had to
thing.
bring spores into the
necessarily.
show.
Not
You
necessarily.
just had to bring spores into the show.
Things
Alright,
adapt
yeah.
and change.
You just
Okay, so
can't let
in
go
the- in
that
the-
it's changed.
In the show, there's no that's not airborne because that causes complications.
That's
Yeah.
really difficult to do. Why? Like
So anybody,
it would be everywhere.
that's-
I'm
okay.
sure there's people
Yeah, that's
complaining
fine.
about that,
Oh,
We
yeah.
can't do it.
Oh yeah.
but it just doesn't make sense
No,
for, the,
didn't they
for the
mention
show.
it was airborne from spores?
Well, they didn't. They haven't mentioned really
They
what
haven't
the
mentioned in
initial
the game
onset
or
of
in
the
the
whole
show.
thing was anyway.
No, and they haven't mentioned in the show really any way of transmission at this point other than Ellie was bitten, so you know
Okay.
that biting
Well,
transmits it.
then.
But the
what
airborne
happened
thing
to
has
Grandma?
been
So-
written out of the show.
Then what happened to Grandma?
In the show,
Somehow she got bit, and her kids just didn't notice.
Who
show,
bit her then? Because then in
Don't
the
know.
hospital, somebody should have been running around biting people like a
Right?
animal.
Exactly.
So another early sign that there is something going on is that when she goes to get the watch fixed,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
family there is scurrying to
Yeah.
get things shut down
Right.
and stuff like that.
Right.
She gets a call from family,
Yeah.
possibly family from a different district where things have broken out more.
Well, and
Well, the thing
I
that
was
got
kinda
me
curious-
was like 2 cops, a fire truck, and then SWAT.
Yeah.
I was like, SWAT?
Yeah.
Something really bad is happening.
But
This is
so
it.
I don't know where they were getting the call from, but where the place that they were talking about in the news in the breakfast.
Oh
scene,
god, I have no idea what that was.
which was the capital city of
Hey, buddy.
another country.
Don't you hit end stream. Don't
Where-
you get off the
Oh, that'd be
computer.
hilarious.
Where that could have been the epicenter of the virus itself
Yeah.
initially,
Okay.
anyway, right? So
Yeah.
I'm
maybe
assuming,
they had family over there in
Yeah, that's what
that
I'm
area,
assuming.
that country, or whatever,
Right.
and the virus is going crazy, and now they know that it's come to the United States, and they're freaking out.
Right.
Can we take a minute to talk
like
about
a hot minute.
Oh no.
to talk about the outfits, the costumes, and I want you
Okay.
to bring up
Okay.
the jam.
Okay.
Should we loop up costume and set design?
We can loop costume and set design. We can talk about them both while we're kind of looking at some of these images.
Okay.
Because they were game accurate, on point, amazing costuming.
They were extremely accurate.
Like,
I don't
down
know
to
why
the-
people are bitching about
Down to the
outfits.
Sarah wearing that band T-shirt. That's a
Yep.
fictional band from the
with
game.
minor
Yep.
changes to the dates on the back, possibly.
There is minor changes, like one of what Ellie's wearing.
Like,
It's
you
a
have to-
little different. There's no icon on it, but it's the same basic shirt. Like there's little changes.
Like,
Obviously,
you have to
but-
understand that the show has been, the timeline for this show has been altered
Yeah.
to suit our current time,
Right.
right? So any dates and stuff like that, any posters on the wall would
the posters were
represent
different.
would represent
Yeah.
a different era.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Right. So
Yeah.
still brilliantly done, I think.
Okay,
Pull
let's
that up.
start off with this one. I'm just gonna zoom that in a
Yeah.
little
So
bit.
like we could have used this possibly when we were talking about the actors.
We could have. But
Sure. There's
You know.
Pedro Pascal as Joel, and there's Joel from
And
the
I
game.
think like
that's
look at the
fairly accurate.
costume right up into to the wall.
almost like game accurate. It's scenery,
Yep.
everything about that
Like,
space.
go ahead and complain about that.
Right? I don't know.
All right. Next.
You can't complain about that.
Okay.
All right.
Now we have Ellie.
Again,
Again, I
this
don't
is a
get it.
different scene. Obviously, she's not wearing a pack.
Yeah, but it's the same
Um,
shirt.
She's wearing similar clothing.
Jeans and shirt, red arms, whitish.
If you're complaining
Torso.
about this, go ahead and give yourself a smack.
Yeah. Shake it off.
All right.
I thought it was great.
Shame on you for trolling this girl.
Right. To the point where she was having like I was reading some interviews with her, and she's, talked about the toxicity online
Mhm.
and the fact that, it's up and down ride where, some days she doesn't feel like she's doing the things justice, and she
Right.
has to come back up out of that and continue playing
Well,
the character.
It's just stupid.
You're doing fine. I know you watched the show.
Yeah.
I don't
she's a
think
big
she
fan.
watches the show.
Bella Ramsey's is subscribed. She loves the show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually,
All right,
she
let's
goes
move
by
on to
Derek
Sarah.
Harding.
Sarah. Obviously, you're gonna
It's
get
the exact same shirt.
yeah, and obviously you're gonna get
Necklace.
the same irritating trolls that
Yep.
say the same
The Little
irritating
Mermaid
things,
thing.
the Little Mermaid stuff,
Yep.
and whatever
You know,
other.
They can go.
Horse
We're not
shit
going to talk about that a lot.
Nope.
Screw
we're not
it.
getting into that.
She did a fantastic job.
She was
Yeah.
incredible.
I loved her performance.
And
Yeah.
again,
Yeah, it's
Same.
kind of a shame she's not in the rest of them.
all right,
Like maybe
Well-
they'll have some kind of like flashback and they'll bring her back. But
like little bits.
well,
but
I
it's
doubt
not
it
gonna
because
be-
I don't think it's going to be really that pertinent to the show.
no.
no.
So-
I think the development of the characters going forward is going to be between Joel and Ellie,
Mhm.
and they're really going to explore
Yeah.
that. Like, character development is going to be better in the show than the game, I think.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
have more breadth to actually tell those pieces of the story where you're not trying to play a game.
All right, and we got Tommy.
Pretty stellar,
Pretty
except for
spot
he's
on.
got the old shirt undone there.
Yeah, well,
But,
yeah, it's hot there.
Well, he's sweaty.
Starts
He's-
out in the summer.
He's been
so-
doing some stuff there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's no issues with any of the cast in this, any of the design.
No.
So far, I'm excited to see where they go with a lot of the design for the outdoors and stuff like that.
I think her shirt could be a little more purple. I'm disgusted they missed this major detail. Thanks, Derek. Yeah, you're right. It was a little duller
Yeah.
purple.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay. Different shade of purple.
Yeah.
Yes.
But-
Sorry.
To
More of a
be
lavender.
fair-
To be fair,
To be
To be
fair.
fair.
the washer,
Yeah.
That could be. It's an old shirt.
One,
Yeah.
and Joel's maybe the one helping with the laundry, and he's not
He's not
worry
good
about mixing colors
at it.
and
No.
whites and
Like,
all
Yeah.
let's
that
just
other
say before all this happened, Joel didn't really have his shit together.
Yeah.
Okay, he wasn't.
Not really, no.
You know,
He was just providing for
Yeah.
his daughter.
he was
doing
doing the best he
okay.
could.
Doing the best.
He's
he
doing
could.
okay. It
Single
seemed like they were
dad.
doing okay. I mean,
All right. Do you have any more slides for us?
yes, we have Marlene.
Marlene. Oh, look.
And
she almost looks the
obviously-
same.
Obviously,
It's like the
She-
same person.
she was one of the. Didn't you say she's one of the? She is the only.
I think from
Yeah.
what I was reading, she's the only video game actor that has jumped into the same role for the adaptation. So
So that's great, and in a way, that's almost like intimidating. I would think.
Yeah.
Like, I need to take this and step it up almost, or like I need to do it
I
at
have
least
to
as
nail
good.
me.
I have to nail this part because if I don't, like, think of the ridicule there.
Could you imagine if she was just awful?
Oh, that'd be weird.
Right?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, how the hell did you
Like
not nail that?
her physical acting is just awful.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
again,
only her
though,
voice.
yeah.
you don't get much from her as for scenes.
You get
You get quite a bit.
So
couple of
forth.
solid
Yeah.
But
chunks.
I would suspect that this isn't the last we see of her
No, the Boston.
in this.
We might see her again briefly, but then
Yeah,
She might have little bits and
I
pieces.
mean, I don't really
and
want to
stuff,
spoil it.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
we don't see her
if
again
you
after
haven't
that
played the
for
game,
reasons.
then we need to not explore that too
Let's
much.
assume
Okay.
everyone dies. Besides Joel and Ellie. That's
Is this
kind
Game
of
of
the-
Thrones?
Are we still talking about the first game?
It's kind of the go-to for it's the same kind of jam, like that Game of Thrones thing. You get really attached to characters.
Yeah,
and stuff,
don't
and
do
then
it.
They just die about
Just
it.
Yeah,
don't. I
You can
don't.
get
just
attached-
hate everyone.
You can
As
get
soon as
attached
I
to
see a
Joel and
character in
Ellie,
this
and then
game-
call it.
As soon as
Yeah.
I see a character in this, I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah.
No matter
suck.
what.
At this point, just only attach yourself to Ellie.
You know.
You should be fine. Next one.
That's
Last one, we got Tess.
Tess.
And Tess is
Pretty
not.
solid.
Tess
she's
is
got
not
more-
spot on.
There's a lot of people hating
got
on
a lot
Tess
of-
online, and I thought she was brilliant as Tess.
I thought she. Hi, Teresa. I thought
Hi,
she was
Teresa.
That was
solid.
weird and awkward.
No, what? Hi, Teresa.
You scared of your wife?
Yeah. I thought she was a pretty solid Tess.
Mhm.
I would say that she's probably like my least favorite jam of the characters that we get to see, but
I wouldn't
Okay.
say my least favorite, but I would say the least accurate.
Really?
No, in I don't know. That's a hard character to nail.
Tess? Tess is just badass.
Yeah.
She has compassion but tries to hide it, but you can see it.
Yeah.
She absolutely loves Joel.
Feel
Joel
like you-
absolutely loves
feel
her.
you
Like
just
they
described me.
are like
All of those things are true
companions
for me.
without the relationship, but they absolutely love each other. And I think that at this point they would probably die for each other.
Hmm.
And that's Tess.
Ooh,
But she will
Awkward.
do anything and go through anything to
Oh yeah. And
to achieve her goals.
I'm not.
I didn't say
Like
I
she
said.
did wonderfully.
I said before, and I'll say now. I think all of the actors
Uh-huh.
in this show,
Okay.
did an amazing job.
Yes.
And if you're at the bottom of my amazing pile,
There
you're
has
still
to be a
amazing.
top
It's
and
just I'm
bottom.
not. She was like my least favorite of the characters that I know and love.
You know, my least favorite of the characters that were in the show that are coming from the video game, Robert.
Okay, yeah. Can
Okay.
you put your mic closer to your
Okay.
mouth. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Robert.
All right.
Better.
Yeah.
Can we skip Robert for a second and go back and
Well,
talk
hang on.
about-
Let me get rid of this. If we're done with Tess,
Okay. I cannot skip over. We were talking about the old lady,
Mhm.
and the way that they portrayed her feasting on, or not feasting on per se, but
yes, I agree.
when they walked in, what are you agreeing upon?
Great show
Teresa
so
loves
far.
the
I loved
show.
first episode,
Yeah.
and probably chose the acting over the role for Tess. The actor that plays her is amazing.
Absolutely.
The
Yeah,
test
again-
role, I can't. I
Yeah.
gotta say, I'm not saying anybody could do it better. I can't.
There might be someone out there who could
I
do
know,
it better.
but off the top of your head, who? No,
Couldn't tell you.
there's no one
Couldn't
comes
tell
up.
you.
No
I
one
thought the
comes up.
actress fit Tess's
Vibe.
vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The actress that played it fit her
there's
vibe
no
for sure.
complaints there at all.
Yeah.
No.
All right. I was saying stuff. Okay.
The
Okay.
old lady.
The old lady and the little tentacles that came out when
Oh.
Sarah had walked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, what were they in the game? The tentacles that come out of the mouth.
I don't recall.
That scene wasn't in the game, but yeah, when
Is that
the
an actual thing that happens to the?
you can see with the runners, they have these
Yeah.
like viney things that
because-
come out.
when she pulls away from the other lady,
Mhm.
and some of the tentacles stay with the lady,
Yeah.
and then you automatically get the impression, or I did, that it's less for feeding rather than a transfer of the virus, right?
Right.
And I think that's pretty what they were going for, obviously.
Yeah, because unlike other
Yeah, because the
zombies-
virus itself eats the host
Yeah, so they
to
don't
survive.
they're
They
not-
don't
It's not
the
like a
runners
zombie,
and the clickers and stuff, they don't need to eat people.
It's not like a zombie that needs to feast, right?
Right.
The purpose of them is to spread virus.
Right, exactly.
So they don't even want to
Okay.
dismember and maim because that doesn't make a good host.
No, you don't want to kill the next to be host.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to spread it.
Spread
I
it.
just thought it
Mia
was
Waikakura.
it was cool the way they did it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then she gets chased out of the house. Can I just say first off, Sarah, don't go anywhere a dog won't go.
Right?
That brings up another point. We're skipping one of the best characters in the show, which is Mercy, the dog.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
She was awesome.
There was a
she's
dog in
great.
the game. You don't get to see the dog. Unfortunately, you get to hear what happens to the dog, which I'm really glad that they didn't do in the show,
Okay.
because I would have been enraged. You don't kill dogs in shows.
Well,
It's just, it hurts.
Or else,
It just
John Wick.
hurts.
You don't kill them
Oh.
outside of
Wait.
shows either.
Oh,
Okay, it's not cool to kill dogs
Oh,
anywhere.
true,
Yeah, don't,
true. Don't kill dogs. But we're
Alright.
getting really off topic here.
Yeah,
But
Mercy was a great dog.
Mercy was a great dog.
Yeah.
I'm really
Um,
glad that they added her to the show.
Okay.
I thought it went well.
I'm just saying, if a dog won't go somewhere,
Don't go.
don't go
Yeah.
there. That was like a horror film trope.
Right?
Yeah,
Why do you make the number one mistake in horror film in a horror film?
right. The only thing worse that could have happened is Sarah runs upstairs instead of out of the front door.
Right?
Yeah, like I,
Gets
got, I
scared,
get
runs
her
up the stairs.
curiosity.
Oh, no.
I get her curiosity, I guess.
I guess. I mean, she cares about these neighbors.
Yeah,
Right? They're like extended family to her.
but like, that's a hardcore no for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I chuckled a bit when they rescue Sarah and they start driving, and after he's already crushed the head of the poor old lady, the others the runners come running out of the house, and he just smokes
Yeah.
one with the truck, and the neighbor's like, "Oh my God, Joel!" and comes running out to check off. It's attacked, and I couldn't help but laugh a little bit.
Yeah, the oh my god, Joel lady actually gets like tackled
Yeah,
by an
Yeah.
infected runner.
like football tackle.
she was a child. Okay, but Sarah should be smart enough to not be doing
She
that
was
kind of crap.
she was smart enough to know more about where,
Wherever
like
they
she
were
was at
talking
the dinner table
Yeah.
or the breakfast table. She was smarter than the two adults.
Kind of like smarter than us right now, I would
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
That's not hard to beat, right? Though, like
No, true.
if there was
true.
an award for stupidity,
But Sarah is a very compassionate person. Like it really affected her when Joel smashed the shit out of the old woman's head.
Yeah.
So,
He spun her body right around.
oh yeah,
She
Right
that was
round.
quite the hit.
like a record, baby.
Right
And
round.
that was a thick
round
wrench.
round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thick.
That was a big wrench.
2 C's.
Yeah.
Thick.
So fast forward.
Okay.
Where are we fast forwarding to?
I don't
well,
know.
we're fast forwarding to 20 years later.
Well, can
Okay.
we talk quick? I just want to throw in that one Easter egg where the movie that Sarah chose to watch
Okay.
Joel
Okay.
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 from like the beginning ish of Last of Us 2.
That's
Yeah.
That
on.
was
That's
cute.
that's the night before.
Yeah, the night before.
where they're
she falls
having
asleep
their
on the couch.
Mhm.
and all that.
their scene on the couch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and where she admits theft.
Yep.
Right.
Buy him a gift. It's the thought
Yeah.
that counts.
Wish there was someone in my life willing to steal money from me to get me something.
Steal money from you to get you something.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have access to some.
You actually do own most of my stuff.
A lot
of my stuff.
well, it's not your stuff anymore.
Um,
Now it's mine. This is my latest edition.
Possession.
Juggernaut.
Jesus.
Anyway,
9/10 of the law
gosh,
It
darn
is.
in the United States. Probably
Can we
not in
fast
Canada.
forward
not in
20
Canada.
years
no.
now?
Yeah,
We can fast
sure.
forward 20 years, sure.
Sure. I think we went over
We fast
everything.
forward 20 years now, and then we get the child.
The little boy
Or girl.
I know.
or girl,
A lot of-
but it was
I
a
don't know.
boy.
You're going with boy? I thought
Okay.
it was a little girl.
They.
I got the impression it was a little boy. Wheezy thought it was a little girl. So we're half
Also-
and half. So
I'll
I'm
steal
We're not even
referring
half
it.
and half.
Teresa,
I'm-
I could probably get my hands on his bank card tonight.
I'm referring to this as the child.
Yeah, the child.
Okay, the child. So the child.
Well, we were 50-50. Didn't you say girl?
And I said I was on the boy side.
Oh, you were on the boy, so it's girl, boy, boy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Hmm.
girl, boy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's a part of a Contra
this
Unlimited
child
Lives
comes
code.
stumbling out of the field,
Yeah.
kind of creepy like.
And the child in general was just kind of a creepy kid.
Really? I did not find anything creepy about this kid.
I find children creepy to begin
None
with.
of it was creepy. It was sad. This kid's got no one. It looks like he's been beat up and he's
I
been through a hard
already
time.
looked
He's probably
zombie-esque.
starving
He
to
did
death.
kind of look like
He
a
didn't look
zombie
zombie-esque. He
machine.
looked like he was exhausted.
They look like they
Just
were
exhausted.
already a mess.
The zombies in these games are not slow. They're not limping
They're
around.
not zombies. Thank you
No.
very much, Mrs.
They're
I
essentially
played the game and,
zombies.
Like they're not zombies.
They're being mind controlled by a disease.
Husks.
Husks.
You were terribly offended.
Any which way.
Okay, they
I
could be
feel like
husks.
you're the only person that didn't find the child creepy.
I-
And like
I don't really find a whole lot of things creepy though, so don't base it on my judgment.
The child was creepy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I
In the
dismissed that.
comments, if the
Okay.
child was creepy, please
Say
say creepy child.
creepy child.
Someone back me up though, because I can't be the only one that's like the kid wasn't
Creepy
creepy.
child.
Okay.
He wasn't walking
Child
like he was taking
collapses.
over.
They pick him up. They put him in a wheelchair where they strap him in under
So he
the
doesn't fall out.
false pretense that we don't want you to fall out. Right?
Yeah.
Like, see, here's the thing: is that you're so morbid that you're like, of course they did.
No, I'm not saying of course they did. I'm just saying the Fedra security lady
Ugh,
was like, it's
Fedra.
so you don't fall out.
It blew my mind.
Did remind you, reminds you of Bastion, my son. He's
I don't
little-
find
he's kinda
Bastion
So
creepy.
creepy.
He's kind of a creepy guy.
Creepy.
Am I the only one
guy.
that doesn't find your kid creepy?
Well,
Yeah, well, that's because if a child ran at you with a knife, you wouldn't care.
True. I'd be like, you're holding it wrong.
Yeah. The Fedra agents
hmm
so calloused
Yeah.
at this point that they can look a child straight in the eye and lie to its face without breaking a beat.
I wonder
Here's-
if that's too far off.
here's-
I don't think that's going to be
here's-
very far off from 20 years of doing this.
right? And also, like this is this child's last moments, and you know that.
Yeah.
You know that you're about to kill this.
So are
child.
you doing
Yeah.
a
I'm not.
favor?
Yeah, I'm not going to be like it's time to
Is there-
die,
is
kid.
there
Like
kindness to it?
I felt like that was giving this kid that last bit of love before you're killing this kid. Like you're
Yeah.
killing the kid,
Yeah.
and you're taking the time to try and speak sweetly and say nice things and stuff.
Make the kid as
How
happy
do
and
you- it's
comfortable
just
as you
like-
can.
I guess it's the same thing as being in the military for so long that you don't react the same way to things.
Like I feel like
Yeah.
desensitized
Desensitized.
would be like they're infected and then just and then walking away like it just was nothing.
Mhm.
At least she was taking the time to like talk to the kid,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
not just bust a cap.
Busting a cap in that kid's ass.
That was my
Was
That's-
that gangster? Was that Gangster Grimm?
I think so.
watch out.
Whoa! I don't feel safe anymore here on the same Chesterfield as you.
The Chesterfield.
Yeah.
Speaking of Fedra,
Okay.
Are you gonna bitch about the spelling?
I hate it. I hate that it's FE.D.R.A. and it's the Federal Disaster Response Agency. 'Cause it drove me so insane that I was trying to find a meaning for the E, but it's just the E from federal. And
Uh-huh.
why do you do that?
It should have just been FDRA.
Why do you do that? I
Probably
mean, Fedra sounds cooler,
specifically to annoy you.
but if you
Please
took
don't
the E
gangsta.
out, when people say these little acronyms, they would still just say Fedra.
Yeah.
Are we gonna?
The
Like when I say
FDRA,
the
Fedra.
Lickbo, it's not. There's no I in it,
No.
but it's the whatever. it is.
Lickbo.
What is it? It's the Lickbo.
The,
LCBO.
the liquor
Control
control
Board of Ontario
board
or
or
something.
something like that. Yeah.
we do
It's
not
just
condone
so you
alcohol
know,
usage.
if you're not from Ontario,
Or Canada in general.
Lickbo.
All right.
But there's no I. I didn't put the I from liquor in there.
No.
I'm just saying LCBO.
You gonna be okay?
No.
I don't know if we can get
Fedra.
past this.
Okay.
Can we get past it?
I'm gonna try.
Give
but
the
it's-
ability to
I'm
get
gonna
past
think about
this.
it every time we talk about Fedra.
All right. I'm
Okay.
just gonna trigger you on a constant basis by saying Fedra.
Fedra.
Fedra sounds like a.
Sounds kind of like a
Lotion.
drug.
you went right to drugs. I'm like, sounds like a lotion.
A lotion, the Fedra lotion.
Well, for
Need to hit
really,
us some
it's
Fedra
like medicine lotion.
medicine. Oh, okay. Okay.
Carry on.
Don't gangsta.
Carry on.
So we have Fedra on the one hand, And who's on the other hand?
The fireflies.
The fireflies, which is a
The
way cooler
light in
name.
the dark.
That's right. That's right.
Ooh.
If you're ever lost in the dark,
Look for the light.
Turn on your flashlight on your phone.
probably they don't. I don't.
The phones
I don't
don't
think there's
work.
a lot of phones. kicking
There's
around.
no phones hanging out there.
Hey.
I mean, they could do that with dead phone.
Well,
They could
have
pretend, I
some
guess,
sort
but
of-
like they have more important things to do. I
they
think.
got radios, I guess.
Yeah, they got their walkie-talkies.
Get over it,
Yeah.
guys. They got
No.
flashlights.
Yeah,
That's good.
Okay, we'll turn
just
your
turn the
flashlight
flashlight on.
Change their
Become a
motto bit.
firefly.
Ooh.
Carry on, guys.
You're gonna hold the flashlight by your butt and flash it to try and
Yes,
attract a
That's
mate.
the.
you could see
Become
me
a
in that
fire-
world, couldn't
Do
you?
you
Just flashlight
wanna make
hanging
a
out
remake
between
of
my
this
butt
show?
cheeks.
Yeah.
We
I don't
could.
see why not. Carry on.
Firefly leader is
Marlene.
Marlene
Well, the Boston
She's the-
unit.
of the Boston unit.
Yeah.
Which I thought was what?
The Boston unit.
Boston unit. Pretty cool outfit. They're just randomly blowing shit up throughout, which doesn't seem like much of a plan, but
Wasn't random.
well, it wasn't random. She was doing like a systematic thing
Yeah.
when we get to see
Well,
the
because
map
there
and
was a
stuff.
meeting.
Or else
Wasn't
we
it?
would have felt like it was just like random terrorism.
There was one bomb went off that they were trying to disrupt the meeting, yeah. But then the rest of them were actually like it's meant to seem really random throughout the city, but it's not. It's very strategic in
Yeah.
what they're trying to do.
They're trying to pull the eyes away from the actual
The building
actual
itself.
building,
Yeah.
where they are, like their main jam.
Which is why, like, all up and down that coastline, when they were showing on the map, they were hitting those, and then there, because they're up here.
Yeah.
So they're trying to pull as many Fedra away as they can, but also hit the city so it doesn't look like,
Hey, don't look
right? It's not
here.
obvious. Don't look here. Yeah.
The art of distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes though, you gotta. You know, some people aren't that stupid. It's like, hey, shit's going on here. What's going on over here?
Sometimes.
You know. Anyway, the
Sometimes.
reason why that is because they're holding a young lady.
Yeah.
At the building.
That's right.
Mhm.
Our main protagonist.
Karen,
Karen.
right?
No, what was
Uh,
it? What did she call herself? Victoria? No,
Victoria.
Veronica?
Veronica.
yeah.
Veronica.
Which most people bought, except for Marlene.
Marlene.
Hey,
not
thanks
having
for
it.
subscribing, Leonardo. That's awesome.
Leonardo.
No, they're telling you thanks for subscribing, Leonardo Rivera.
Yeah.
Leonardo Rivera.
Subscribed.
Yeah, that's
Is that a bot?
That's a bot.
We got a
Cool.
subscriber from this.
Thank you very much, Leonardo. You're amazing.
hmm
And not just because
Welcome to the show.
you share a name with a Ninja Turtle.
You do share a name with a Ninja Turtle, which gives you even more of a cool factor for me.
Mhm.
True.
Because if you
True.
watch the show, you will find out that me and Grimm are big Ninja Turtle fans.
Yeah.
We
I'm
have
not
Ellie.
saying it.
We have Ellie here,
Yep.
Yeah, Ellie.
locked up.
hmm
Do you want to talk about the little scene between her and Marlene? Because you kind of can explain that a little better than
I think I'm really glad that they put that into the show because then it kind of gives you a little bit of backstory on like why Marlene saved Ellie before they even knew that she was bitten. They didn't know that Ellie was bit when they came in and dare I say Riley? Or do we want to wait?
we can,
Huh?
you
Go
can
ahead
talk
and say
about
Riley.
Riley.
Okay.
But I have a quick question though. Is it implied that Marlene knew Ellie's mother?
I would say it was implied, but I already knew the story, so it's hard for me to really say.
I would think it was
Because I already
Yeah,
knew
well
that
implied.
like she was friends with Ellie's mother.
Yeah.
And then when Ellie's mother died, she like basically took Ellie and placed her with the Fedra in like an encampment, right, where she
Mhm.
grew up
Which
to become a military person, essentially. Right? They were
it's-
training her to
it-
be a soldier.
It's briefly told.
Yeah. Yeah. So they don't really say it in words, but it's kind of like a given, right? I mean, I guess they do kind of get into it about, I placed you there stuff like that. But then,
Yeah.
what was my point I was going to get to?
I don't know. You said
You've
something about
never had
Riley
a
at one
point in
point.
our entire.
Oh,
Just
well,
was very-
because at one point Ellie says about how they're terrorists, the Fireflies.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the opposite of what the Fireflies actually are. But then
Well,
Marlene in response says, "Well, was Riley a terrorist?"
Yeah, so she briefly mentions her. We can talk
Right.
about her briefly, but I don't want to get super into that character.
So
right
then,
now.
like, the briefest explanation is Riley was also in the Fedra program as a young child. They grew up together. They became friends. Ellie was being bullied. Riley, helped her out. Anyway, now they're friends. Riley takes Ellie out one night, basically because Ellie saw her leaving and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna come with you," and Riley just could not get rid of her. So then after that, they were pretty tight. So then they go to this mall and they're playing like video games, pretending. Obviously, there's no power. And then like they have like an outing and they have fun and do photos together and stuff like that.
And then
which is
I think you're going to say the same thing I was about to say. So go ahead.
So this is all from
Let him talk.
Left Behind. I don't know if anyone has played that.
All right.
what she said.
If you want to learn more about Riley, Left Behind, the DLC.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is where you're going to find that. Also, something that these guys did not know is that there was a comic book called The Last of Us: American Dream,
Mhm.
And it also explores that portion of time as well.
So I wonder if it does it match up? I wonder.
I've not read it myself. I plan to.
It's something we're gonna have to get
yeah.
a hold of for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because I want it now.
Yeah.
Miyawaki Akira.
So you were gonna say,
That's what she said.
What I'm gonna say is again, I just wanted to throw back to that trailer thing, in which I think we're gonna get to explore that Riley story more, because
Yeah.
in one of those scenes in that trailer, it seems like it has Ellie and Riley in the photo booth, like
Yeah.
taking a picture, and it's just that one quick scene. But if it's that one quick scene, maybe they're going to explore that story.
I would think that they
some
would,
flashback stuff.
because what happens with Riley and Ellie really shapes who Ellie is now.
The same as the prologue shaped
Yeah.
how Joel is now.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
game, there's a small portion where they pass an old arcade machine, and she has some nostalgia about it.
Yeah.
And Joel says, "Oh, I never really liked playing those. I never really got into those."
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely touches on that.
Yeah.
And then it'd be cool to see that referenced
Mhm.
Yeah.
in the show.
Yeah.
I agree.
So moving on, unless there's something more to say about that.
No,
I think,
good.
I don't really want to give away what happens exactly with Riley and
I think
Ellie.
Riley's something I'd like to talk about more.
I would rather
as
leave that.
They explored in the show.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really want to huge spoiler. You know what I mean?
I mean, if somebody wants to find out more about Riley, I would suggest actually going to the sources.
Oh yeah. Just play Left Behind. It's
Oh.
not crazy long.
No, it's pretty
And
short.
it's really, really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it there and move on.
Okay.
Let's talk quickly about so Tess and Joel. We've already kind of touched on their relationship and how
Yeah.
They're
as
important to
close
each
as
other.
can be without being partners.
Yeah.
At the same time, they're smugglers. And Joel's brother Tommy, who is apparently still alive,
Mhm.
but I think they kind of allude to him having joined the Fireflies.
He was a Firefly. Yeah.
In the show, and hasn't checked in with Joel in a while. So Joel's whole mission before he starts talking to Marlene is to get out of Dodge and go and find Tommy.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the battery.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
they need the battery to get a truck or
Mhm.
to pair with the truck.
Yep.
Which is going to get them there, right? The truck is being supplied by one of the military guys that's kind of shady,
Well,
right?
he's just buying drugs.
Some
from
things I like
Joel.
about that is before they even get to that is how Joel is fine. Like in the game, they get right down to shooting people up and getting to Robert and stuff like that. But in this, they show you that there are more mundane tasks to do in life, right? And that he's willing to do that just to get the tickets.
Yeah.
Which he can trade for things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
As well as doing the drug deals. A touch that I think was brilliant is him asking for the bag back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
You
Yeah.
know,
What are you just
showing-
gonna run down to the corner store and
showing
buy,
how scarce
buy
some
some
of these
bags?
things are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
thought that was a brilliant touch.
Yeah,
You know?
I did too.
Yeah.
I really appreciated the fact that they're really
The
showing you what
scarcity
it's
of
like.
things is actually real in this. Like,
Because
Yeah.
nobody's manufacturing plastic theoretically at this point in time, right? Like
I wouldn't think so.
it's not happening.
you know, somebody actually said at one point that the most inaccurate thing about this show is that Joel would never not stop to look for duct tape and scrap
Right?
in every drawer.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
The scarce supplies.
Yeah.
It's a real
Although
thing.
there's still time, I wonder,
Yeah,
like now that
whether
they're out in the
he'll-
world,
all he's
if they're
gotta
gonna
do-
have a little scene where he's like going through and puts duct
All he's
tape in his
gotta- He's
backpack.
only got to do it once to satisfy.
Yep,
everyone,
just one time and be like, "Yep, there it is.
Right.
Get the loots."
It's gonna be great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They have to put that in. It's gotta be.
I'm sure they will. They've put out so many other little
Yeah.
tidbits in.
But
Yeah.
the battery in the truck is where a lot of things differ between the game and the show.
Yep.
It's like that initial motive,
Yeah.
right? Whereas they're running guns,
hmm
and that's their motive to go see Robert, and in the show a battery.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
Which
it
I
made
think is
sense
a-
for the show though.
Yeah, it's a cool
It does
switch.
make
Yep.
sense for the show. It's
Yep.
I like it better for the show. I
Mhm.
like it in the game the way it is,
Yeah.
but the show, the motive is better.
Makes it more simple.
Yeah.
Right?
More simple, more kind of wholesome too, even.
Need to
Right.
check on the brother, need the truck. Truck needs a battery. Done.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Not a hard thing to explain. Right?
Yeah.
Now they've got a reason to leave too.
hmm
That's not a difficult thing to understand.
Yeah.
So perfect.
I agree.
So earlier you spoke of Robert and how he's your least favorite
hmm
of this whole thing. So
Elaborate.
now's the time because we're going to talk about Robert a bit.
Yeah.
I think mostly it's his character.
Yeah.
In the show and the game.
Yeah.
It's kind of a Weasley. You know how much I hate
I know
weasels.
how much you hate weasels.
Yeah, but
Where like when shit hits the fan, he runs and hides
doesn't
because that's what
that-
he's got his guys for.
Doesn't that work though? Like that's exactly what the character is designed for.
Yeah, absolutely.
saying
It
that
just
he-
means that I don't like him.
You
As a
don't like
character.
him as a character,
As a
but how
character.
did you like him? How was he portrayed, and
Yeah.
was he portrayed properly?
No,
No?
I don't think so.
How,
Like when I saw him, I did not put together that was Robert until she said his name, and I was like, "Oh, that's Robert."
and he had goons.
Okay, yeah, and he had goons, but I didn't put that together right away.
Hmm.
Not a clue that was Robert.
Like Robert doesn't stick around long in this.
No,
No.
You see him a little bit, and then he's gone.
but in that game, you have that whole huge scene where you're trying to go through this compound
Yeah,
to
I know,
get
but
to
in
him,
the
right?
game, that's the entirety of the game is the exploration.
Yeah.
Right. In
Yeah.
a TV show or even a movie, you cannot spend that much time.
Well, and Robert's character is not really that important to telling this story,
no.
No.
so they just kind of like got to the point.
Yeah.
On the show.
So he
Which
tries
is
to-
fine.
he- Battery, he's beating down Tess.
He's just as scummy as
He's
he is
scummy.
in the game.
He's a scummy
Oh
dude.
yeah, he's really scummy.
Right? He tried to
Yeah.
sell a dead battery to
He's
two
an arms
different groups of
dealer.
people.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
okay, well, at least in the game, he's an arms dealer. They
Well,
did, I
no,
don't think
he's-
they actually said exactly what he
He's
is.
probably
He's-
something similar to Tess and Joel, right? Where
Yeah.
they're, running guns and this and that.
He
the same
is
guy.
a
He's a junker.
professional scumbag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. He obviously gets unalived by
He does.
by a different group than he does in the game.
Yep.
You know, does it
Yep.
matter to me? Not a bit.
No, I don't care. Other than they had Robert, they showed him a bit, they killed him off like he's supposed to be dead
He was
or unalived.
He was the
And that's it.
initial. What do you call a villain that's not? He's not a main boss. Like
sub-boss?
he's a low class villain
He's just a thug.
that starts the venture off type deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
He was important to the story, though. At least, like in the show, he was important to the story.
Yeah.
Right. So they had to have him there.
Yeah.
Because that's what led Tess and Joel to the Fireflies,
Mhm.
right? They're
Yeah.
trying to get their battery, and it ends up being Marlene that he's selling the battery to. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they get down to
And the fucking battery was garbage. Anyway.
but he tried to sell the same dead battery to two different groups
Yeah.
of people. Like, how do
Yeah.
you you're a scumbag.
Yep.
and the
Right.
Fireflies lit him up about it. So
Oh, yeah.
that's it.
So before
Yeah.
they light him up, though, or during the time that they're lighting him up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming, Tess and Joel are going through that area,
Yes.
Mhm.
the portion of you're starting to explore
Yeah.
in the game type deal.
Yep.
And they come across the guy on the wall,
Mhm.
that has been mutated.
Why he's just
Okay.
dead, and he's got spore or mushrooms growing out of him and stuck to the
Mhm.
wall. But I'm guessing that the virus is dead at that point, right? Like,
It should be dead because it can't survive if the host dies.
right.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of grown up the wall a bit.
It's just
was
there.
looking for a new host.
How did you feel
Yeah.
about that design? Like, did they look good to you? That,
Yeah. I thought they
Character.
looked great.
I think it was fine. It was
Yeah.
spot on.
I thought it was perfect. Yeah.
You seem like you were getting excited about something.
Yeah. What was that?
I was just thinking about the lack of spores and how Grandma could have been infected.
Okay.
Because when we were
What?
looking
Okay.
at the dead body,
Okay.
right, and we could see the fact that that person was pasted to the wall, and those those mushrooms, those cordyceps, had started to spread out from the body to
Okay.
look for a new host. So if someone was infected, or someone had some of those mushrooms on them somewhere,
Okay.
those would have sought out even through physical contact, which would explain the scratch thing. Or whatever, even just like this tiny touch of those
That was
mushrooms. Thanks. If those mushrooms had have gotten onto Grandma and found their way into an orifice, they could have infected her that way instead of having to worry about it being a straight scratch or
Okay.
a bite.
We'll
I
go
mean,
with
that's
that.
a pretty good theory. Grandma's got mushrooms in her orifice.
Grandma
So-
was infected. Let's move on.
She's not
Yeah.
upset about it.
I'm
No.
okay with it. Me being right.
Huh?
I'm okay with me being
You're
right.
not right. You're never right. Come on.
Right.
I said I'm okay with me being right
How
about
are you
Grandma.
right?
You just explained how Grandma could have been.
Well, she was obviously infected at some point. She turned into a thing.
We're assuming in town because it's only really in town at that
She's at
point.
the hospital.
Had to be at the hospital.
Don't
That's the only
argue
place she
with me.
goes.
You're ridiculous. I don't know how long
She's got mushrooms in her
went to
orifice, Dan.
Appointment that morning, came back infected. She wasn't
Who
previously.
At that point, didn't have mushrooms in her orifices. All right.
Not
Not
many.
everybody's had a mushroom in their orifice. I'm just saying.
All right.
Joel was mushroom free. His orifices were clean.
He had clean orifices,
Orifices.
no mushrooms
Right.
within.
Right.
Why is it that every time we start talking about orifices, a child
Wanders into
wanders
the
into
She's
the...
fine. She lives with us. Come on now.
poor thing. So yeah. Anyway, great scene by the way. Loved the look of it.
Yeah.
Was amazing.
And her jump scare was good.
yeah,
Yep.
It
was good. I thought it was really good.
it was solid.
Yeah.
They didn't spend a lot of time going through like whole scenes where, they were exploring too much and stuff. I think it's important to not spend a lot of time on that, where they can just kind of get at developing the story, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Because the story was great. So
Yeah, it was.
And like them stopping and like looting items everywhere is not going to mean much to people who haven't played the game.
Right.
no, like
They're
I
just
said,
gonna be
they've
like, what
only-
the hell
It
is
would
happening?
it would mean a lot to any gamer that's ever played almost any game
Any style of
that
game
you
like
can
that.
loot stuff.
Yep.
But all they need to
Yeah.
do is pay tribute to it once.
Just once. That's
Right.
all I care about. Just once. Just
Yeah.
loot something.
So
Yeah.
they get in there. The Roberts and his crew are down.
Yeah. and everybody's happy about it.
Nobody cares
No.
about those guys.
No, it's just Robert and his crew.
You know?
I like how Ellie, when they get in there, is not even messing around. She comes
Oh.
out just straight stabbing. Like
Yeah.
she's like, I'm gonna shank you. That's
Yeah.
it.
Like
So,
she's already got the eye of the tiger.
she's going.
You
She's
know?
going for it.
She does. She's got her mom's switchblade.
Yeah.
That was her mother's.
Which she's very
How do you
offended
know?
about.
Because Marlene took the knife and handed it down to Ellie. That was her mom's knife.
She was very attached to that knife to the point where Joel stepping on it and stuff was infuriating.
Oh,
to her.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was not happy.
Which was
Right.
perfect Ellie.
Yeah.
Once again, this actress, oh my God.
OMG, girl.
Irma
Right?
Gerd.
I know, right?
The important part of this is that there's now a transfer of responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
Joel hates the idea, but Tess is like right on board.
because
Why she
it's
jumped
a
right on
means
it?
to an end.
Is it, or does she care?
It's a means to an end.
I think Tess still cares.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she has compassion.
Would
and-
she go through the
you know.
trouble, though, not knowing,
Because Joel wouldn't have. By himself.
No, Joel would not have at that point.
not
No.
knowing the
absolutely not.
details? Would she have gone through the trouble if it wasn't beneficial to them?
That's just bad business.
Which is what this is a business
Yeah.
transaction at
Yeah,
this point.
exactly. She wouldn't have, but they're getting something that they want from it. So, okay, all I have to do is transport this kid. Like, she's old enough to take care of herself. So just follow
One
us.
of my favorite lines comes from this scene where, what is her name? Looking at the board, Marlene.
Yeah.
Okay. The other character is like, I can do it. You don't have an ear on your goddamn head.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
Oh, true.
her ears just gone.
And I hadn't noticed it until Marlene stopped and said that. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch, it's gone.
It's
Yeah.
just one of my favorite
That was
lines.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Solid.
She was pretty much like, shut up. You're not part of this conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Or, oh, yeah, just take your time. I'm only bleeding out over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too, right?
That was good, too.
Marlene definitely had some solid ones.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, those were good. So then, the only I think, aside from just the very end, the only thing I think is cool to talk about is how Joel
How are we doing for time?
just straight
I wonder.
Hour and a half-ish.
hour and a half,
22.
no, or 22.
Yeah,
Um,
this is longer than I thought.
We're getting there. We're almost done. We're
Are we
almost through the show.
long-winded?
Yeah.
Little.
Plus,
You get
we
the three of us
distracted
going?
easily.
We
Oh.
do get distracted easy. but I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like
true.
in the past, I think that our distractions are more entertaining
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well, we've managed to.
I've been told, at least.
The when we were talking about kind of a watered down Joel, we wanted to get to that scene where, you know, Savage Joel comes out and
Okay.
we get, you know,
Okay, I don't
Yeah.
think that we're there yet, honestly.
we are there. Where
We
do you wanna
cannot
go?
be there without talking about the scene where they're in the bedroom, or where they're in
Oh,
Joel's
the
house,
code, and,
and
Ellie
with the
sorts
code,
it out.
and
Okay.
Ellie sorts the
She's
code out.
smart.
She figures it out. We all know Ellie's a
Yeah,
super
but-
smart kid.
You cannot end this discussion with, oh, the radio played a song, without first talking about the code.
Oh, I wasn't
Can
going to even
reference
talk
it.
about the radio playing.
I
the
wasn't
song.
going to either, but you know. Danger's coming.
Danger. Well, we know Danger's coming. He's leaving.
Well,
He's
yeah.
not going to get
So-
the message.
Yeah, Fedra agent is dead.
Don't talk about the song, okay? Don't talk about the song, and then realize that the developers of the goddamn show
Uh-huh.
have stated that this is not the last time we will hear this song, which means it actually is going to mean something. So if you guys want to be poor at doing this, then you go right the heck on and do it.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
So they go to the bedroom and there's a code.
Grow
and
up.
The 60s mean that they don't have anything. The 70s mean they do. And the 80s mean that something. And Ellie figures out that it means trouble.
Trouble is on its way, or something like that.
You know, and it is.
Trouble's coming.
near the end of the show, just before the pan out scene, an 80s song plays on the radio, which is what song?
I can't remember.
No, I have no idea what
was.
song, but it was in the
Okay.
80s. That's probably why I don't remember.
Um,
I'm not big on music.
Were you born?
Not till 84.
Yeah, like.
But I don't
you
know
were,
when
like,
in the
aren't you,
80s
like-
that song came
Aren't
out.
you like 20?
37?
she's-
37? 38?
you're
You don't know how old
38.
you
I'm
are.
38.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to ask my wife.
You'll be 39 this year.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true. Not till
I
November.
do think that the radio.
I mean,
is
November
more
7th.
important than you guys
Yeah,
were
I'm
making
sure
it.
it was.
Okay, it was
We
important.
can-
It was
and
important.
Wrap back
I
to it.
apologize for getting a little heated over it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
You should. It was uncalled for.
it wasn't. I'll fight you.
So
I
Joel
know.
Joel has flashbacks when Ellie is threatened
Yes.
to the soldier killing his daughter, and just
Yeah.
tackles and goes full PTSD rage
Yeah.
on this dude and pastes his face with his bare hands.
This scene was beautifully done.
Gruesome,
So, like,
but
you
beautiful.
could feel every emotional strike that Joel laid out.
For sure.
Yeah, and then
And-
when he's done, looks back at her, and it's Ellie.
Yeah.
Standing there, and he still is like,
But here's
"No, I'm
the
good.
thing is
I did
that
it."
Yeah.
When
He's not
Sarah
completely
saw
lost.
him protecting her
Yeah.
and getting violent, she was scared.
Yeah.
When Ellie sees it, she's not frightened at all.
No,
In
Ellie
fact, it almost
has
looks
lived in a
like
whole
she-
different world.
It almost looked like she liked it.
She was intrigued by it.
Yeah.
Well, and she's grown up to be like, she grew up partially to be a soldier too, right? Like in the Fedra
Fully to
program.
be a soldier.
So
Every aspect of their life is learning how to be a soldier.
that's her jam.
For
Like,
Fedra.
she's like, okay,
Right.
well, this guy's not just some.
I'm just saying it really sets her up to be like a hard hitter.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Which kind of like, we can flip back slightly too to the Marlene conversation about even Marlene says something like, you know, when they were talking about what they're capable of, what
Okay.
Joel and Tess are capable of.
Yep.
And how Marlene's just willing to be like,
Go.
if you're gonna take her,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want you to take her.
Don't fuck it up.
Right.
Yeah.
So it says a lot about who Joel and Tess are, and I don't know. I think we know Joel is a ex-soldier.
Yeah.
By the time
Military.
we meet him in the prologue, and who know, I can't remember. I don't think they said anything about Tess, but
No, you don't really get to find out a whole lot about Tess, but
Yeah.
she's got some kind of training. She has to.
or she's just that.
It could
cool.
just be,
Or she's just that really just that good at what she does.
you know, eventually, if you're in a certain circumstance, you will adapt to that circumstance, and
Yeah.
And she's
it
obviously
will
really
harden.
good at
She
it.
is definitely hardened by the circumstance at the very least.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
they get out, radio thing, and then we pan out, and there's just a clicker hanging out on a building.
Now, it's definitely a clicker hanging out when they pan out. First
Absolutely.
off, when they pan out,
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
the set design there, beautiful.
Oh, stunning.
The apocalyptic look.
Yep.
Even to the point where there's those two buildings falling together that are very similar to like in-game
Which they should actually be going through.
design. Yes, they should actually.
Yeah, we should see that in this.
Um,
And tomorrow's
And
episode.
then as
Yeah.
they're panning
Yep.
out, you hear the noises of what is definitely a clicker.
Well, and
Mhm.
the clicker's standing there and it screams into the thunderstorm and stuff too.
Like I don't think that
Yeah,
any of
so-
us can deny that that was a
No.
clicker and not any other form of the.
It couldn't have been a runner. Runners don't do that.
How long were you holding that back?
It wasn't a bloater. That's not what bloaters look like.
No.
Maybe a stalker, but they don't. It had to be a clicker.
It was.
The closest thing it could be is a stalker.
It had classic
But
clicker
definitely a
movement
clicker.
though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when
Like getting
it
down
hears
low.
the sound and then it squats low
Yeah.
and screams about it. Like,
Yeah.
that was
And I think that other than the
Pure
runner, I think that's what we're bound to run into next.
I would imagine. I think they're going to move towards.
They're
clicker.
probably gonna skip stalker, I would assume, and go right to a clicker.
Yeah.
I would assume we're gonna get clicker, runner, obviously, bloater, and then whatever else that they have come up with for the show.
Like we talked about earlier, offset. the developers did say that there would be some new designs
Yeah.
for the enemies and possibly some new human characters.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I
So
wonder if they're gonna keep Bill later in the
Derek
round.
says that he kind of looks like a bloater.
Okay.
not
Okay.
as much anymore.
Not as
I don't
much
know if you've
anymore,
seen
Derek. You've really,
anymore,
like-
but he's been doing
Yeah.
some
You're looking good.
some kung fu fighting.
Yeah, Kumite.
Not okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And he's looking good. He's looking good.
Yep.
It's definitely done wonders for him.
Has it?
Um,
Would you be doing?
Jiu-Shitsu?
Jujitsu.
Do-Shitsu?
Jujitsu.
One
Like
of
a
these
little
days,
dog?
one of these days, he's going
No,
to
he
be
has
a
a big dog.
master.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
don't
his dog
mess
was
with
here.
him. Don't mess with him. He will be a master very shortly. Okay.
Master debater.
Yeah. So new characters, new designs for enemies, but they're going to feel as authentic as they can be.
Mhm.
You now owe me a Coke as well.
You didn't say Jinx, so Jinx.
You didn't say Jinx
Jinx.
earlier.
Oh,
Jinx, you owe me
No,
a
I
Coke.
just called it before you
No,
said
didn't
it.
say Jinx. It has to be Jinx. You owe me a Coke.
Yeah, you didn't say it earlier, and I just called you on it. You can't
No,
back it
you
up
never
now.
Said Jinx, you owe me
I
a
don't
Coke.
owe you shit.
That's all the time that we have.
They're
going
gonna
to
feel
show.
authentic on account of that they're made by the same developers.
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
gonna see some amazing new characters.
Yes.
I hope so.
Do you want to have any what's next for this show?
What kind of question is that? What's next for this show?
Play the game.
They're going to
Dan.
travel through dilapidated Boston. Then
Mhm.
they're going to get out of there.
Boston?
They're going to go cross country.
Mhm.
Got to find Tommy.
But there's trouble.
It's going to be lots of trouble. Also,
So much trouble.
there's lots.
I
Well,
know there's
9
trouble because
episodes.
The radio told
So-
me.
There's going to be some indigenous people on there.
Uh-huh.
Saw in the previews.
Yep.
I was excited.
yep,
Crap.
that woman.
There's a dude and a
Oh, there's a dude too?
yeah.
I only watched it once.
And I don't know who
Dude.
surrounded him on horses, but
See-
could have been indigenous.
I'm trying to
people who love
remember
horses.
in the game who surrounds them by horses, and
Could have
all
been
I can
indigenous
remember,
people. I can tell you for a fact.
all I can remember is
that we
Tommy's
love
group.
horses.
What?
All I can remember is Tommy's group with horseback taking them in.
Yeah, maybe could have been.
But I'm like, that's
Could've
really too soon for them to be at Tommy's
yeah,
encampment.
it's, why? I mean, it
That's
was in
way
the
too
trailer,
soon.
guy.
It was way
The
too soon.
trailer shows all kinds of stuff.
But like episode 2, they find Tommy.
No, the trailer. For goodness sakes! The
Oh my
trailer
God.
Can show a million. Can show
Goodness.
the end.
Well,
of the
yeah,
show.
I guess
Gracious,
so.
great
I
balls
guess
of
so. It's
fire.
already all recorded, eh? It's not like they're, acting right now for tomorrow's episode.
It would be kind of a
That would
letdown
be
if there
cool.
was zero trouble. Yeah, that's true.
True.
Yeah,
True,
How
that'd
do
be
you
a really
know,
boring
This
show.
It could just be smooth sailing.
Could be. Wrap it up. I gotta pee.
Okay.
I've had to pee for quite a while.
Dibs
now.
on the toilet.
Right?
I'm just saying.
So that's all the time we have
Yeah, that's
for
it.
the Nerdy Couch show
got-
this evening.
We all have to
We
urinate
love you
now.
guys.
If you
Oh,
like,
If
Louise
you like
is going to
the
steal the
show,
toilet.
like the button.
Like it.
you don't have to
Hit
just
the button.
like the button if you just want to push it.
Push the like button. Subscribe.
Push it.
Hit
Tap
the
it.
bell.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell
Yeah.
your dog. Because we talk about dogs.
Yeah,
There's
dogs
cats on
the
really
show.
love this show.
Bring them all here.
Feet.
And thank
We
you
always have feet on
again
the show.
to our new subscriber.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
You're
Excited.
wonderful. Thanks,
Leonardo.
For
I
watching.
think actually up here it said something, too, but I didn't.
If we
Bot
missed-
is running. Never mind, guys. That's not for you to know. anyway.
if we missed your comment, then it's definitely the producer's fault.
Sorry.
We didn't miss your comment. I'm really good at.
I think we did pretty
Get
good.
along. Yeah.
If
did
you
okay.
like this sort of stuff, we're doing it for every episode. Who
Yep.
is excited for the show tomorrow for episode 2?
I'm so excited.
I'm pretty excited.
Like, we are literally on the verge of getting episode
you
2.
know,
and talking
one thing
about
I'm
episode
really
1.
scared about with episode 2, I really hope they didn't make episode 1 just absolutely
Like a bomber.
fantastic to suck people in. So now they have to watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
I hope
can't
they put
imagine. I
that
think
same
it's
amount of
gonna be
effort
good.
in every episode.
I
I
think
feel
it's
like
going to
they're
be
going
good.
I think it will be. It's just also in my back of my
Like, how
head.
many
Like, oh my
episodes do we
god,
have of this?
9
9 episodes. The first episode being an hour and a half. The rest
Yep.
of them being an
an hour. Yep. Stop clicking. I'm not scared.
It scares me.
I mean, really, all I'd have to do is sit here and not move.
I'm a bit of a wimp, so like I don't know.
Yeah,
if,
you
I don't
are.
know if anybody's watched me play a particular
Yeah,
jump scare.
Nerdy
game.
Couch Gaming Channel.
Nerdy Couch Gaming Channel. If you want to see that, we all have our separate gaming channels. Check us out there. You
Mine
can check
sucks.
that out. He just goes, mine sucks. You know, you'll get better. You got
I'll
new
be
mics
better.
and stuff like
I'll
that.
be better.
Mhm.
You can find those links at the very bottom of our page. There are icons on
Yep.
the bottom of the Nerdy Couch page.
I
Mhm.
should just start putting them in the description, honestly. We mention it every time. Or at least I
Definitely
mention
do.
mine.
Anyway,
Because you know we
Anyway.
just like making videos for you guys.
This is
Dude,
the
you guys have
longest
to pee?
outro. I have to pee so
Go.
bad.
If we could keep it going
Okay,
a
bye,
little
guys.
longer, so
okay,
that
like, subscribe, hit the notification button. That's all the time we have tonight. Love you guys. Big hearts and a peach. Bye-bye. Oh, and our producer left, so I'm gonna just come over here.
yeah.
Find the
So
remote stuff, and it's fine. It's quality production. See. Oh, I didn't hit the other end. Okay.